Have you ever seen a car that made you stop in your tracks just to stare? The 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz is exactly that kind of car. Gleaming, impossibly long, and carrying an aura that can only be described as over the top. But behind its glittering exterior lies a story few people know. The story of a Cadillac born at a time when Detroit believed chrome could save the world. This car wasn't just transportation. It was a statement, a rolling piece of art created by designers who dared to push every boundary. That boldness produced a machine that is as breathtaking as it is controversial, even decades later. So what makes the 1958 Eldorado Biarritz so special that some call it the very peak of the American dream? Let's travel back in time to find out. In the mid-1950s, Cadillac stood as the ultimate symbol of American success. If you owned a Cadillac, you didn't just have a car, you had made it. This was the era of Harley Earl, GM's legendary design chief, the man who brought tail fins from fighter planes to automobiles and turned them into a nationwide craze. But 1958 was no ordinary year. The US economy was struggling with a recession, and auto sales were dropping fast. People were tightening their budgets, but Detroit wasn't. Cadillac kept doubling down on chrome, tail fins, and luxury. They wanted to prove their dominance even in tough times. The Eldorado Biarritz was born out of that moment, a car Cadillac treated as a worldwide statement: we are still number one. Designers and engineers were told to hold nothing back. More chrome, longer lines, bolder styling. Interestingly, 1958 also marked the year Cadillac updated its chassis, refined its engines, and embraced pioneering technology, setting the stage for the 1960s. Seeing a Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz for the first time feels like encountering a rolling sculpture. I still remember spotting one at a classic car show. The way the chrome caught the light made the entire hall glow. The front end is a visual feast. The grille stretches wide, sitting low and divided into dozens of tiny squares, like an oversized piece of jewelry. The front bumper, with its polished Dagmar bullets, almost smiles, as if daring anyone to outshine it. The sides are sculpted, yet covered with so much chrome you could check your reflection as you walk by. The showstopper, of course, is the massive tail fins. They soar high, framing bullet-shaped taillights that make heads turn. From the rear, the Eldorado Biarritz looks like a spaceship ready for liftoff. Its sweeping body lines emphasize its enormous length, over 18 feet of rolling extravagance. Polished saber-spoke aluminum wheels make the car look like it's parading down a Hollywood boulevard. Every detail, from door trim to Cadillac crests, feels meticulously crafted, as if the design team left a piece of their pride in every line. Overall, this is more than a car. It's Cadillac's bold statement that they were the undisputed style leaders. Everything is exaggerated, longer, wider, and shinier than anything else on the road. Standing next to it, you can't help but feel small in the presence of Detroit's masterpiece. But if the exterior takes your breath away, the interior is where Cadillac proves they were serious about redefining luxury. Hand-fitted leather seats offered up to 15 color choices, from refined ivory to striking burgundy, turning the cabin into a statement of the owner's taste. The six-way power seat glided smoothly into position, giving you the perfect driving posture at the touch of a switch. The dashboard was a masterpiece of jet-age styling. Symmetrical round gauges, bright chrome knobs, and a slim two-spoke steering wheel made you feel like you were in the cockpit of a jet. The Wonderbar radio could automatically seek stations with a single press, an extravagant feature for the late 1950s. Cadillac also equipped the car with a Frigidaire air conditioning system to keep the cabin cool, a luxury few cars could match. Interior lighting included dome lamps, reading lights, and decorative accents that made nighttime driving feel warm and elegant. The real technological star was the standard air suspension. Cadillac promised a ride on air, and indeed, the car floated over potholes and bumps, isolating passengers from the road below. To move nearly 5,000 pounds of sheet metal, Cadillac fitted the Eldorado Biarritz with a 365 cubic inch V8 using triple two-barrel carburetors, tri-power, producing around 335 horsepower. That made it the most powerful Cadillac you could buy at the time, a serious statement in the luxury segment. Mated to a 4-speed Hydra-matic automatic transmission, power was delivered to the rear wheels with seamless smoothness. The car could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 10 seconds, impressive for an 18-foot luxury cruiser. Press the throttle, and the V8 responds with a deep, confident growl, not loud like a muscle car, but powerful enough to remind you that this is no ordinary Cadillac. Behind the wheel, the experience is pure sophistication. Hydraulic power steering makes guiding this massive car surprisingly light, almost yacht-like. Out on the highway, the Biarritz glides effortlessly, maintaining speed with minimal cabin noise. 4-wheel hydraulic brakes provide smooth, controlled stops, a point Cadillac proudly advertised. The 365 cubic inch displacement was also tuned for refinement, with reduced vibration to keep the interior whisper quiet. Cadillac's philosophy of power in silence was not just a slogan. It was something you could feel every time you drove it. The power was there when you wanted it, but passengers in the back seat enjoyed near-total serenity. Starting at over $7,400, when a new suburban home cost around $10,000, it was among the most expensive cars in America. Production costs were so high that GM reportedly lost money on every one sold, but Cadillac kept building them as a rolling showcase of its engineering and luxury leadership. What made the Biarritz even more special was its extremely limited production. Just 815 units were built for 1958. Each one was essentially a mobile statement piece, Cadillac's way of telling the world they were still on top of the luxury game, despite economic headwinds. This combination of sky-high price and limited availability meant the Biarritz was never meant for everyone. It was a car for those who wanted to make a statement about status and exclusivity. But the high price during an economic recession made it especially difficult for Cadillac to bring this car to market. Industry sales were plunging, buyers were prioritizing cheaper, practical models, and the Eldorado Biarritz stood out as an extravagant choice only the wealthiest could consider. Cadillac deliberately kept production extremely low, just 815 units for 1958, not only to control costs, but also to make the Biarritz a rare, exclusive statement from the moment it left the factory. Most dealers received only 1 or 2 cars, turning it into more of a display piece than a volume seller. Market reactions were sharply divided. Some wealthy customers were captivated by its flamboyant design and saw owning one as a way to signal social status. Others criticized Cadillac for being out of touch, arguing the car was priced far beyond reach during such a difficult year. Automotive magazines at the time didn't hold back, calling it a car to show off more than to drive every day. Troubles were compounded by Cadillac's signature technology, the air suspension. Early leaks caused cars to drop in ride height, forcing Cadillac to spend heavily on warranty repairs, and even retrofit some cars with conventional coil springs. These incidents damaged the car's reputation for reliability and further limited its already modest sales. Even so, Cadillac never treated the Biarritz as a failure. They positioned it as a rolling billboard for their leadership in luxury and innovation. Seeing one on the street was enough to turn heads, and Hollywood quickly noticed its star power. Throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s, the Biarritz appeared in films as the perfect car for wealthy characters, artists, and glamorous beach scenes in California. Magazines also embraced it. Automotive and fashion publications regularly featured the Biarritz, presenting it as a piece of jewelry on wheels. Cadillac's ads placed the car in luxury resorts or busy boulevards, reinforcing the message that driving a Cadillac meant living at the very top of the American dream. Music added to its legend. Cadillac references became shorthand for success in many rock and roll songs of the era, and the Biarritz embodied that image. It became the dream car of a generation coming of age during the Cultural Revolution of the late 1950s. Interestingly, even criticisms about its over-the-top styling only fueled its fame. The car became a talking point, frequently mentioned in editorials and used as a benchmark for excess. Cadillac had effectively turned the Biarritz into a living advertisement. Whether you loved it or thought it was too flashy, you couldn't ignore it. Today, the Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz is considered the holy grail among classic car collectors. With only 815 ever produced, each surviving car is a rare gem. Major auctions often see beautifully restored examples fetching over $200,000, with fully optioned, numbers-matching cars going for even more. Part of what drives this value is the challenge of restoration. The original air suspension system is notoriously difficult and expensive to rebuild, with replacement parts scarce and costly. Restoring the interior can be equally demanding, as the original leather color combinations and trim pieces are difficult to replicate. This level of difficulty makes owning a perfectly restored Biarritz a badge of honor among collectors, a sign of true dedication and passion. Beyond monetary value, the Eldorado Biarritz carries immense historical significance. It represents the peak of Cadillac's no-limits luxury philosophy before the industry shifted toward practicality and restraint in the 1960s. Many automotive historians view 1958 as the year Cadillac reached its pinnacle of chrome and tail-fin design. Owning one today is like owning a time capsule from that glamorous era. The Cadillac enthusiast community also plays a huge role in preserving its legacy. Clubs share technical manuals, locate rare parts, and organize events where the Biarritz is often the star attraction. Seeing one in person at a concours or classic car show usually draws a crowd, and the owner is often treated like a guardian of history. Thanks to all these factors, the 1958 Biarritz continues to appreciate in value year after year. It is more than a display piece. It is a reminder of a time when America dared to dream big and build cars without compromise, even in the face of economic hardship. What do you think about this over-the-top Cadillac? If you had the chance, would you want to own one and relive the spirit of the 1950s? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective on this car. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss more shocking stories about the cars that made history. And share this video with your car-loving friends. They might be just as blown away by the Biarritz as you are.